On December 10, 2015, retired Colorado Police Detective Jim Bainey filed this affidavit to the United States Federal Court District of Hawaii. Detective Bainey had been working on this investigation since approximately 2012, but his investigation actually began back in 1993 when he was investigating the cold case murder of 7-year-old Tracey Neef. Years after his retirement, two persons came to him with additional information that there was a second suspect in the 1993 Hawaii murder of Lacey Ruff. The suspects in the Ruff case were also persons of interest in the Colorado Neef case. Detective Bainey compiled the information and immediately contacted the Hawaii Police Department. He informed them that he had information that the person, Clarence Kandlau, who had been arrested and sentenced to life in prison, may not have been alone when committing the murder of Lacey Ruff. There were several conversations between Detective Bainey and the Hawaii police. However, the police were not interested in any new information. They were apparently satisfied that the correct person was in prison for the crime and were not interested in opening the Ruff case for further investigation. Detective Bainey was concerned. He was not convinced that asking for a grand jury on the local level would be effective. There were allegations of corruption within the Hawaii Attorney General's office and numerous local circuit court judges. Detective Bainey also knew that the murder of Lacey Ruff and Tracey Neef were federal crimes, and the allegations of corruption also fell into the Federal Organized Crime Act. Bainey decided to look further into the Ruff case. In the years of 2012 and December of 2015, his investigation revealed possible massive corruption within the Hawaii Police Department, the Prosecutor's Office, the Hawaii Attorney General's Office, individual private trust and real estate attorneys, and the Hawaii court system. These federal violations included murder, violations of the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, violations of the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, violations of the Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, Title 18, Conspiracy Against Rights, Title 18, Deprivation of Rights under the color of law, violations of the Federal Rules of Criminal Justice, violations of U.S.C. 42, violations of Title 18, Federal RICO Act, racketeering, influence and corrupt, and money laundering. One of the named defendants in Bainey's affidavit is Catherine Lloyd, whose husband Hugh Jones is an assistant Hawaii Attorney General. Bainey had information from one of the victims of corruption in Hawaii that they had confronted Hugh Jones about his relationship with Catherine Lloyd and his ability to carry out an unbiased investigation. Mr. Jones sent the victim an email that said, "You are correct that Ms. Lloyd is my spouse. For that reason, your July 2013 complaint was assigned to a different attorney in our department with expertise in charitable oversight matters. I was not involved whatsoever thereafter. I do need to correct a couple of your statements. First, Ms. Lloyd was not terminated by the Hawaii Community Foundation but left to take a new position with the Hawaii Pacific University, and she left HCF before the date of your complaint. Nor is Ms. Lloyd related in any way to Nancy Budd. Nancy Budd is another defendant. There are over 60 defendants listed in Detective Bainey's affidavit. To some, it's the who's who of Hawaii. On December 29, 2015, Detective Bainey received this letter from the United States District Clerk Subayashi. It said, "Bainey, the clerk's office is unable to process your motion to convene federal grand jury. Please refer to the United States Attorney's Office for assistance. We will hold your copies of said documents for 30 days. Thereafter, if we do not receive instructions from you, your documents will be destroyed." Detective Bainey called the judge's clerk.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Is this Allison?
Yes, it is. Hi, Mr. Bennett.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I just have a couple questions. I understand I got a letter and you kind of state it again on your message what it was, that you guys are saying that you can't process it. My question, I guess, basically is why? I mean, is that your policy that you don't accept requests from the general public, or is there some kind of written directive or something?
Yes, I mean, absolutely. This type of matter would need to be referred by the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Okay, and I assume that the judge has not seen this. Is that correct?
I brought it to their attention, and they told us to refer you to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
So, which judge was it that told you that? Or was it a group of judges?
Oh, yeah, just generally. It's just our general policy.
I know, but you said you brought it to their attention. Whose attention did you bring it to? The reason I'm asking these questions is there's a whole bunch of victims on here that I need to be able to tell them what's going on. It's not just me.
Right, I understand. I mean, you can certainly, we talked about this before. If you wanted to open this up as a civil case, we can open it up as a civil case and a judge will review it. In the format that you send it to us as a motion to convene a federal grand jury, we're not in the business of filing or opening up a case with this type of pleading.
Okay, maybe you have me confused with someone else. We never talked about this before, and it wasn't in the letter that
No,
was
we
sent
did. You and I did have a conversation. You explained to me that the additional copies were for the members of the grand jury, but we're not in the business of just taking these types of discovery documents and just giving them to the grand jury for review.
Okay, I understand that. So, again, what I'm asking for, though, is what kind of a directive, or you're not making this decision yourself, someone else is making this decision. The reason I ask this is because
there's certain types of documents that we receive and we process and we open, and this is not the type of document that we would receive or process.
Okay, so then you have a federal court guideline that says that, what you will receive and what you won't?
Right, generally you need to file a complaint in order to open up a case in this court.
Well, I have to file a criminal?
No, the U.S. Attorney's Office would file a criminal complaint. You can file a miscellaneous type case or a civil case in order to bring something before the judge's review. Okay,
so this isn't civil, this is criminal. So you're telling me that you don't accept criminal complaints from anyone but the U.S. Attorney's Office, is that correct?
To the best of my knowledge, yes, that's correct.
Okay. The reason I'm asking you this is that the reason that I sent that to you directly, well, actually, there's two reasons. The first reason is that parts of this case have already been presented to federal investigative agencies who either didn't acknowledge receiving them or replied in a manner that was negative. Secondly, the U.S. Constitution says that a federal judge will convene a grand jury if it's in the interest of the best interest of the general public. It doesn't say anything about receiving only complaints from the U.S. Attorney, to the best of my knowledge. That's why I'm asking you, where is this information that you're giving me? It's not just coming from you. If it's a policy, maybe you could send me a copy of it. Or if it was told to you by someone that's a superior to you, then maybe you could give me a name or something like that. That's all. This is not in any way civil.
Okay, I understand. Well, I will certainly do a little bit more research and look for some type of policy that I can provide to you. But there's still the question of what would you like us to do with your copies?
Well, I would like to hang on to them until I get some kind of a answer from you as to why this can't be done. And once I get that, then I will be able to decide. If you have a directive or if there's some kind of a federal court ruling or procedure that says that you will not do that, most likely I'll have you destroy them. But until then, I would rather you just sit on them. This isn't going to go on for longer than 30 days, is it?
I can't answer that question. We'll have to. We did some preliminary research and could only find case law pertaining to other cases.
Is there? Do you have an email? Maybe I could send you some of my information, and it might help in this matter. You might say it's alright.
Okay, yeah, you can email me. My email is ag@hid.uscourts.gov.
Okay, A is in Adam, G is in George, at HIG, which is Henry Ida George .us.
HID, Hawaii District Court, HID.
Okay. HID.uscourts.gov. Okay, that's good enough. I will get to work on this and send you some information, and maybe we can resolve this without any more phone tags and stuff, and I'll be on my way or not. Okay?
Okay.
And what's the name of the head judge there?
The chief judge currently is Judge J. Michael Seabright.
Seabright?
Yes.
Okay, J. Michael Seabright. Okay, thanks very much for your time. Hello?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
After talking with Allison, the court clerk for Federal Hawaii Chief Judge Michael Seabright, Detective Bainey sent this email. Detective Bainey's email quoted several federal laws and statutes that supported his belief that his direct request to the court for a grand jury investigation was proper and implored the judge to act. On January 8, 2016, Detective Bainey received this phone voice message from Seabright's court. Voicemail from Jan Abernathy.
Hi, Mr. Banish. My name is Leanthi, and I'm with the U.S. District Court in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm calling regarding your motion to convene a federal grand jury, and I wanted to let you know that the material that you had submitted to the court will be forwarded to the grand jury. They are scheduled to meet this Thursday, so they will be provided with the materials that you sent us. If for some reason they do not meet on Thursday, there are times when the U.S. Attorney has scheduled time that they convene the grand jury, but at the last minute the U.S. Attorney changes its mind and it does not present anything, so at that point they're told not to come in. And if that happens, they will be given your materials at the next time that they come into the court. So again, we will be passing along your materials to them this Thursday or as soon as the next session is scheduled. If you have any questions, you can call me. My number is area code 808-541-1304. Thank you.
Detective Bainey had been ridiculed by attorneys who did not believe that this could be done by an ordinary citizen. In an effort to verify this, one of these persons made an independent phone call to the Judge Seabright's court.
Clerk's office, this is Leanne.
Leanne, yeah, you're actually the person I need to talk to. Back on January 18th, a motion for a grand jury was given to you with Jim Benish, and I'm just trying to see if there's any movement on that at all.
I have not heard anything back, but that's not uncommon because none of us have any communication with the grand jury. So I don't know what I can tell you as far as finding out the status.
Well, of course, the normal procedure that we would be contacted at some point. I just didn't know if there's like a status, situation that goes that it's at point A, point B. You know what I'm saying. Okay, all right. So
yeah, I'm the only people that regularly have contact with the grand jurors are jury administrators who process them when they show up for their sessions. Okay. But other than that, we have no idea.
do you have like a rough idea, and I'm not going to hold you to it, obviously, but a realistic time frame from your experience from the time that one submitted? And I know that this particular one obviously has it's quite substantial. There's a lot of stuff on it. But what is the average time frame?
To be perfectly honest with you, this is the first time I've had experience with citizens sending in something for the grand jury's consideration, so I have no idea. Okay. I'm really sorry.
All right, no problem. I appreciate your
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sure thing. Bye-bye.
Detective Bainey and others, including the many victims, had confidence that the jury had been assigned the case to look into. It was an incorrect assumption.